Hi there, everybody. This is David, and I don't know about y'all, but I've got to say, there is a very specific kind of satisfaction that only a good tactical RPG can really deliver. It's kind of like that moment, whenever everything just lines up, your positioning finally pays off, and in one clean, calculated shot, you completely dismantle the enemy's plan. That there is really the headspace that Mecharashi lives in, and right now it is hitting its perfect storm moment thanks to its Neon Genesis Evangelion collaboration. And this video is sponsored by the folks behind Mecharashi, and honestly, that really does work out because the crossover is not just flashy, it's actually like one of the most stacked versions of the game we've ever had. And if you've ever wanted like a real strategy game piloting iconic mechs that actually, mean something strategically, this here is the moment. But before we do get too deep, if strategy RPGs are your comfort food like they are mine, and you enjoy overthinking every single turn just like me, then you need to come and join my party and level up with me. Thank you so much for your sub, your like, and your hype. It helps me out a ton. And now, without further ado, let's dive on in to Mecharashi. For anybody out there who's been following my channel for any bit of time, you know that I have been playing Mecharashi. It's really good, and I've been covering it on my channel for quite some time now. But for anybody out there who hasn't played it yet, let me just kind of go over it. Mecharashi is a sci-fi turn-based strategy RPG set in the near-future world where mechanized warfare defines global combat. You play as a commander, deploying squads of pilots across grid-based battlefields where terrain, turn order, and preparation matter far more than just your raw stats. The tone leads into gritty and grounded, and the combat rewards careful planning rather than just kind of reckless aggression. Every mission feels designed to test how well you understand your tools, not how fast you can mash through encounters. The defining mechanic is definitely that turn-based combat. Every mech is built from individual component, and each of those parts has its own durability and battlefield function. Destroy an arm, and that means that the mech loses its weapon. Or you could take out their legs, and then its mobility collapses. Or you could just kind of land a clean hit on the core, and then the fight is over immediately. That single system changes how you approach every single encounter and every single battle, because you're never just attacking an enemy. Instead, you're dismantling them, piece by piece. Every turn becomes a choice between controlling the battlefield or pushing towards that decisive finish. Customization feeds directly into that depth. Mechs come in light, medium, and heavy classes. But within those categories, you have a huge amount of freedom. The frames are modular, and parts can be swapped freely within those weight limits, and weapon loadouts radically change how unit functions. You can build fast, evasive skirmishers, or long-range snipers, or slow, oppressive frontline tanks, and the game fully supports all of those different playstyles. On top of that, you can repaint and personalize all of your mechs, which does sound cosmetic, but it also goes a long way towards making your squad feel like actually, your squad, not just a generic squad. Pilots add on another layer on top of this system, as each pilot belongs to a specific role, like the brawler, assaulter, shooter, tactical, defender, or engineer. And those roles interact with mech builds in meaningful ways, because your squad composition definitely matters here. You're going to need units that can deal damage, control the space, absorb pressure, and just keep everybody alive. So whenever you find a lineup that clicks, the game opens up in a really satisfying way. Now, where Mecharashi really goes all out is in this brand new Neon Genesis Evangelion collaboration, and this is where that I want to focus on first, because the EVA mechs are genuinely the highlight here. The collaboration introduces limited time EVA units, including the Dawnbreaker units, and these aren't just kind of inspired designs slapped onto existing frames. They're built to visually and mechanically sell that EVA fantasy. The proportions have that kind of slightly chunky industrial feel that EVA units are known for, including that almost chibi silhouette that gives them weight and presence on the battlefield. They don't look sleek or generic. Instead, they look powerful, but also awkward, but still intimidating, which is definitely, right. These are easily some of the coolest mechs currently available in Mecharashi, and watching them move, attack, and soak up damage feels distinct, and piloting them actually delivers on that long-standing dream of controlling EVA units in a real-life tactical setting. This isn't just like fan service, it is a genuine mechanical showcase. The second big reason that this collaboration matters is just kind of like how absurdly gorgeous it all is. During the EVA event, you can get 3 collaboration limited S-rank pilots, all of which have top-tier combat effectiveness. On top of that, you can obtain the S-rank Dawnbreaker Rev 01 mech and its enhancement modules entirely for free just through your participation in the event. The version also hands out massive amounts of pure crystals and gacha rewards, to the point where new players can realistically earn over 270 pulls just within their first week. That level of generosity fundamentally changes the early experience, so instead of starting behind and then slowly climbing uphill, brand new players are given the tools to experiment, build real squads, and actually engage with the systems right away. And returning players benefit just as much, because it's a really easy way to massively strengthen your roster without burning yourself out. At the same time, it's also very necessary for players who have been playing this game, as its strengths can take your team's level up to the next level. The collaboration also includes exclusive EVA story content, pulling the main cast into Mecharashi's world through special event missions and their own narrative arc. There are plenty of nods and nostalgic touches all throughout, and even EVA-themed hangar visuals that transform your base into something that feels straight out of Nerve. It's clear that a lot of care went into making this feel like a full, real crossover, not just like a surface-level tie-in. Yeah, Mecharashi is a gacha game, but this version here leans heavily towards accessibility rather than restriction, and that's why I like it. You're encouraged to play, experiment, and engage with the content without feeling pressure to, spend all your money. Strategy and smart decision making matter far more than your wallet, especially during this collaboration. So after spending some time with Mecharashi, the takeaway here is quite simple. It's a tactical RPG that respects planning, and it rewards people who actually go out and take the time to understand all of its systems. With the Evangelion collaboration, it's also offering one of the most generous and visually striking entry points that the game has ever had. So if you are an EVA fan, or if you've been waiting for the right moment to jump into a mech-focused strategy RPG, then this is it. Mecharashi is calling your name. So please be sure to check it out for yourself with the links in the description as well as the pinned comment. And if you're a new player, do not miss out on the over 270 polls in the game, making this here the best entry point for newcomers since the game's launch. And also, if this video did help you out, please be sure to hit that like button, sub for some more strategy RPG content, and as always, have a good day.